Marcus was arrested. He was thrown in a cell for 3 days, no contact with his parents, no translator was allowed. He was denied a translator as well. And he was also reportedly, because we can only go by what we read, he was forced to sign a confession he didn't actually understand.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Alexis Blake.
And I'm Liam Blake.
And this is episode 25 of our podcast.
The Blake Debate.
That was well in sync.
It was good,
I'm
wasn't
actually really impressed with that. That was all you though, that was not me. Well done, babe, well done.
Thank you very much. So, first of all, we've just literally got off the phone to the estate agent.
We have got an offer on our house. So we are moving somewhere a little bit bigger to accommodate for this stuff, to make more space for all of the filming, editing, gaming, and
Totally, it's for the gaming.
we have no guest room at the moment because this stuff has taken over. We had to get rid of a bed in order to make space for all this. So I want another bedroom. I'm really excited. So we've got an offer. It's been on the market for like 3 weeks now, hasn't it?
We've had a few viewings, but this viewing that we had on Saturday, it went really well. You said you'd be surprised, didn't you?
Well, I need to tell you this actually because I've not told you
What,
this
you flirted with them?
No, it was a couple.
Right.
It was a straight couple. They
Flirt
were
with-
lovely.
Yeah, some people are into that.
I tried to be as charming as possible, but they were saying to me like, "Oh, why are you moving then?" You know, like to find out the goss why we were moving. And I explained like, "Oh, you might have noticed we've got no space upstairs because we film and everything." And then out of nowhere, I meant to say we're looking to have a child in the next couple of years,
Right.
meaning we're going to adopt. But I didn't say that. I said we're going to start trying for a baby next year. And as the words fell out of my mouth, I was like, "Oh, that's so exciting!" I'm like, I really hope they don't figure out I'm trans because I'm like, how's that going to work?
How's that going to work?
So it just came out of my mouth and I just said it. So apparently we're trying for a baby next week, even though that's not possible. They were really lovely and I'm excited because now we get to look around some more houses.
Yes, so we got an offer and we've accepted the offer.
Yeah.
When the paperwork comes through, we've basically sold the house.
We'll do a
contract.
tour. When we get a new house, we'll do a full house tour.
If that's something you guys want to see, we'll definitely do a full house
That
tour.
can be like a Blake debate thing, like our house, because like we'll
In
be
the
decorating.
middle of the street, our house.
Also, no extensions again. I'm being more brave.
Me neither, look.
Hashtag brave.
Me neither, look.
I'm being
Look how long
sarcastic.
this is.
I know the mullet's coming along.
It's coming on.
Shall we dive into today's topic?
Yeah, so enough of that. Let's dive into today's topic.
Where do you start? We are gonna, so before we jump into the topic, actually, I do want to say now, stick around until the end of the
Disclaimer.
video. Well, no, it's not a disclaimer.
Oh.
If you stick around until the end of the video or the end of the podcast, depending where you're watching or listening, we are going to be answering some of your guys' emails.
Yes.
So thank you to everyone who emailed in already.
very much.
We have a couple that we'll answer today. If you want to email for future videos, the email address is the.blake.debate@gmail.com. If you have any agony aunt questions,
I'll put it
if
on
you
the
want to
screen.
ask to see us talk about anything, any suggestions, please send it all there for our podcast, The Blake Debate, and we will, of course, look into it. But we will get to 2 of those at the end. But first, the main thing we want to talk about today.
main
I
event.
just spoke so much then.
You did, I know.
Please dive in.
It's okay.
Dive in.
So today's topic, we're going to be talking about the teenager Marcus Fakana from London, who's recently been arrested in Dubai for having sex. We'll go into detail as to why.
I think you need to give context.
Yeah, we're going to go into detail as to why, but he is facing up to 20 years in prison over in Dubai.
The reason we wanted to talk about this today is because it's a bit of a grey area of law, I would say, between
Law
UK
versus
and
morals, I think.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's always really, really interesting. So he's 18
He's 18, you're correct, yeah.
and he was on holiday with his parents in Dubai when he started
It was a holiday of a just for context, it was a holiday of a lifetime.
Yeah.
One of the parents works in the warehouse, one of them works as a cleaner, but they do low paid jobs. It was a one in a lifetime kind of trip.
So they were on holiday. He met a girl who was a few months younger than him, but that did make her 17. They started a secret relationship. His parents knew about the
He told
holiday
his parents,
romance.
and they were fine with it.
Yeah, but the almost 18-year-old, but she was 17, she couldn't tell her parents that she was sneaking out at night. Anyway, her holiday's coming to an end before his and she goes home.
Yes, so she arrives back home with her parents, but at this point her parents are none the wiser. So what happened next? The mother of the girl went through her phone without the girl's permission, so a violation of
Privacy.
Privacy.
It is really.
You just, why? But
Obviously,
anyway.
she suspected something, but she found messages between them both and
Yes.
put two and two together.
And, well, these messages or this exchange between these two, basically, she then found out that Marcus had slept with her daughter.
They were planning on meeting up when she got home as well, so it wasn't like a one-off thing. I think it was
it was a holiday romance. That's what it's, that's what it was. It was a holiday romance.
Will you be my holiday romance?
I'll be your holiday romance whenever you want, yeah. So there's a saying, there's no wrath like a woman scorned, right? Yep. So, as a mother, a scorned mother, I understand she was angry. Rightfully so. Girls growing up, your son or daughter, they grow up and things like this happen.
In the UK, that would be legal because obviously the age of consent, I think, is important because I wasn't sure on this and I had to double check it.
Yeah.
It is 16. So once you are 16 in the UK, any gender, any sexual orientation, that is the legal age of consent.
If you're in the UK and you're a human being, you can legally have sex from the age of 16. There is the whole argument of maturity, but age doesn't always match maturity.
Absolutely.
Like, you could be a 16-year-old who's mature. You could be a 25-year-old who's immature. I don't believe the moment you turn 16, you become
mature. Absolutely
mature
not. I wasn't mature until a lot older. I think I matured at like 25.
At the same time, when I was 14, I think I was quite mature in
You're not mature now, babe.
No, I don't. I mean, in the sensible, those
that
kind
way,
of things. The mother, she was a scorned mother, and she was upset. And what happened next to me is where the line was crossed in terms of like taking your anger to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, I can see from a mother's point of view, but rather than having a conversation with her daughter, I believe, well, what we've seen on the news is that she then called the police in Dubai while Marcus was still on holiday.
With his parents.
Subsequently getting him arrested. And in Dubai, the law states it's a legal age of consent for tourists is 18 plus.
Yeah.
So their laws are a little bit different if you live there, but if you're a tourist visiting, once you're 18 plus, you can have sexual relations with anyone.
It didn't used to be though. They only recently changed that law. Even if you were visiting Dubai as a couple that have been together 10 years, if you weren't married, having sex while you're there on holiday would be a punishable crime.
Exactly,
so they've only just recently changed that. But because the girl was a few months away from being 18...
She was like, no, she's 18 now though.
No, she's 18 now, but at the time of the crime... In September, she was a few months away from being 18. Marcus was arrested. He was thrown in a cell for 3 days. No contact with his parents. No translator was allowed. He was denied a translator as well. And he was also reportedly, because we can only go by what we read on the news, he was forced to sign a confession he didn't actually understand because it was in a language he didn't understand.
That must have been like, I can't think of anything more terrifying than that because you have no power or control. The situation has improved a little bit. He's now in an Airbnb. Parents had to fly home because they had to go back to work and earn money. The Airbnb he's living in right now is £2,000 a month. So they set up a GoFundMe to help him whilst they try and resolve the situation.
I do believe it's got about 10 grand in there so far from people helping, which is good.
I think people from like the general things.
No, do you know what else? What else as well? So Fakana's family, so the boy's family, they contacted the foreign secretary, and initially that fell on deaf ears. He said it was going to be a conflict of interest, but under a lot of pressure, their local MP finally got involved.
I think that's how he ended up then in the Airbnb, which is obviously a lot better, probably a lot less terrifying, but they still haven't found resolution of what to do.
The thing is, he's potentially facing 20 years in jail, so that I think he's still going to be terrifying, even if his immediate surroundings better. We're not condoning this. We're not saying that it's okay what has happened, because ultimately what it falls down to for me is if you go to a country, you respect their rules, you respect their laws, and this is a first-hand example of why you need to do that. Now, he's an 18-year-old boy, some might argue. He should have known better.
Well,
but he's still young, he's still immature.
I get
and
that,
it takes two to tango. This is the thing that gets me, right?
Well, it's consensual. Everything that we've read is consensual,
It was a consensual holiday romance. There is no acts of non-essay or non. This is a consensual thing, and if this had occurred back in the UK, regardless of how her parents felt about the situation,
nothing would have happened.
Legally, completely fine. This is not a 17-year-old with a 40-year-old, which is a whole other cup of
tea? Is that what you're saying?
No, a whole kettle of fish. That's a whole... Why would you put fish in a kettle? It's a saying, but
I don't know.
That's a whole different thing. But the fact is, she was a few months away from being his age. They were a few months away from being
the same age.
For it being a legal act. But it's just it's hard.
It's like it's verging in a grey area of morals versus law. But for me personally, like we've spoke about holidaying and where we want to holiday, and obviously me being transgender, the potential risks of that because it's not legal everywhere. So there's certain places that we will not go.
Yeah,
we'll not travel to.
We won't. I don't
because
think
it's
we'd
a
go
risk
to certain places, or would at least do a lot of research before we go to make sure what we are doing while we're there.
Well, it's still not legal in a lot of places.
No, but what I mean is, in certain places where maybe public affection is frowned upon.
Yeah.
So therefore, you don't do it. Do you? You don't.
I get that.
You don't break the rules here. We shouldn't break the laws. Even if we morally think that law is ridiculous, it's still a law. So when we're in this country, we obey our laws. We should obey the laws in other countries because this might happen.
Yeah.
Over here.
For safety, if nothing else.
For safety
and to protect yourself.
You might get a slap on the wrist for a certain crime you commit here, but in another country, that could get your hand lopped off.
Well, I really hope that the situation gets better. We will link the GoFundMe below if anyone wants to have a little look.
I just want to know, because I think it's an interesting thing to talk about, because it was a consensual thing. Both parties involved are both to blame, in my opinion. Yeah, she was a few months away from being 18. She's not a minor. She might be a minor in the eyes of the law in Dubai, which is why this whole thing's happened. But in terms of morally, they were 3 months away from being the same age.
Yeah.
So why is it she flies home, her mum not only is angry, she then takes the anger out and gets him arrested while he's in Dubai.
She could have destroyed his life.
She might already have destroyed his life.
I really have faith in the British people. It's gone viral, this story, which is obviously how we found it.
Yeah.
And I do believe that they will campaign and they'll get him back. I really, really do believe it.
I do hope so, and I hope that this is a big lesson to learn.
Like, from what I've seen and read on social media, is a lot of people are supporting him and his story and his family.
They are.
So I think the consequence for the mum
is quite positive overall.
Yeah, I think the consequence for the mum who called the police, she could destroy someone's life like that just because.
Just because her daughter's growing up, and we aren't parents yet,
so we don't know.
So we don't know what it feels like. But growing up and being a teenager, do
we need to talk about?
No,
whatever
we're not
going to
go into
say.
detail. But I can appreciate that parents, to them, their children will always be their children.
Well, yeah,
and I understand that when children get to a certain age and start exploring different things, as a parent, it can be upsetting. I appreciate that it can be upsetting. But then to go out of the way and do something like that and potentially ruin someone's life. Like, if he goes to prison for 20 years, he won't get out until he's older than me.
And that's old.
I'm
joking. I'm joking.
I hope, although I'm not condoning what happened, it was a stupid mistake to make.
People do make mistakes, and it depends on the level of the mistake,
with laws like that. Yeah, because again, over here in the UK,
nothing would have happened.
It would have been completely. When I was 16, what I was getting up to.
On that note, we will move on to answering your guys' questions and comments on our emails that we've already had.
Yes, we'll go to the emails that we got. So
did you like that segue?
I did like that.
I cut you off because I didn't know what you were about to say.
I did.
Right.
Oh, look, guys, Biggie's here.
So, okay, jumping straight in to this one. This really has made my day, this email. So thank you to Kerry who sent it.
Kerry.
The reason why it's made my day is I recently did a video. Someone made a not necessarily nice video about me.
Sam Collins.
He has like nearly a million followers.
A million
and
followers.
There was a lot of comments on that video. I think one person even referred to me as the transgender Hitler.
Well,
which was lovely.
Alexis was compared to Hitler, which just blows my mind. And recently on Twitter, someone...
So don't even give her credit.
I won't even give her credit, but somebody shared a video of you when you was upset in the car about the whole transphobia at work, and it's had over 500,000 views, and a lot of the comments are absolutely vile about you. But so many of them are totally getting the story wrong.
Yeah.
And anyway, a lot of your followers have jumped to your defence in the comments. But it's the video's over 18 months old now. Why are you jumping on that video now? Is it?
It was February last year.
It's about 18 months
Oh,
then.
yeah.
But like...
Maths isn't mathing.
Your maths is mathing, but anyway.
What I was trying to say is, obviously, with the Sam Collins video, and then I reacted to hate comments, so I had to go actively searching for the mean comments.
Yeah, it's never nice
Which
to
I
read.
do get far and few between directly on my videos. When things go viral like this or on Facebook and stuff, I just keep away. I don't really want to know because it's not always that nice. So
Well, nobody likes to read comments
no,
about
not
themselves.
yeah.
Negative
But actively
ones.
finding mean comments, it was a lot, I think, for me to process. I laughed it off, but everything. But this has really made my day. So thank you, Kerry. So Kerry says, "Hi, Alexis and Liam.
Hi, Kerry.
My family of 4 are huge fans of you both. My straight gamer husband, my gay gamer 14-year-old who loves to bake and decorate the house, and my 14-year-old non-binary child who is an IT genius."
17-year-old.
What did I say?
You said 14-year-old non-binary.
Apologies, Kerry. We all love your videos. My questions are: how to talk to my son who now identifies as a girl. There's a few questions. We'll try and fly through them. That first question, how to talk to, there's no right or wrong way. I think as long as you're trying, I think that's more than enough. As long as they can see that you're trying. I don't know what else you can do. Just be sort of kind, empathetic, let them come to you.
When me and Alexis are out and about and stuff, and people in the early stages knew Alexis were transitioning and Alexis's pronouns had changed, just to see those people trying was enough.
It shows that they care because it's such a simple thing, but to show that someone cares enough about you to try and say she instead of he, that meant the world to me. So even if people got it wrong, and then they'd say, "Oh, I'm sorry,"
as long as they were trying, and
that was always
it was
enough.
Fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
As long as they weren't doing it on purpose. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If it was on purpose, that's different. But if you're trying, if you're listening, that's all you can ask for, isn't it?
And just give them time. Don't rush anything. There's no rush. Go on.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, is what
That's
I said
what
to
I
you,
would say
because
with that.
Alexis wanted to rush through all
But
the
you shouldn't.
transition.
You really shouldn't. So the next one, Christmas crafts and decor. Okay, I can answer this one. You can't.
I have
you
no
know.
idea. No idea about
Christmas
all that stuff.
decor, go nostalgic, tacky 90s. It's making me so happy every time I look at my tree. Multicoloured lights. I'm ordering some foil decorations for the ceiling. We're going for the full.
Are we actually getting them?
Yeah, I'm going to get them.
So,
Now the house is sold, I can do whatever I want.
Well, so many people have actually jumped over, emailed over, sent comments over, and everything. You've actually started a trend this Christmas. There's so many people that are like, I'm doing 80s, 90s Christmas. Honestly, it's been. You've been heard, Alexis.
I think it's been brewing for a while. I think Kim K, when she did these tacky, awful, plain trees, they were just white triangles. Were disgusting. No offense, Kim K, and they were boring and miserable. I think ever since then, people are like, "What's going on?" And then some of the decorations coming out that are beige and bland. Not my taste. Everyone's allowed their own taste. I think people are just wanting a bit more of the fun back again that we get kind of miss. So do that. And then craft-wise, I keep seeing people buying those adjustable shower rods that you twist, and they're wrapping garlands around them and putting them in like archways and stuff in the house. That looks really fab. And I kind of want to do that, but we don't have an archway.
You made your own thingy, didn't you?
Yeah, Amazon. Like, there's ways to be affordable with it. But yeah, just have fun with it and try and get all the family involved.
I'll insert a video here of that thing you made under the TV.
Yeah, it was some Amazon cheap £10 garlands all wrapped together with tie wraps and then just multicoloured lights on. And I love it so much. So, what do we do for our downtime? What downtime?
What downtime? So So a bit of context. I have severe ADHD. I was recently diagnosed. Woohoo!
No.
Yeah, and what I like to do, what I plan to do, is when I finished editing, she's usually gone to bed because you get up early, so she goes to bed about 8 o'clock. So I'm like, right, it's 8 p.m. This gives me 4 hours to just relax and kick back in the chair and game. Do I do that? 9 out of 10 times, no. I end up carrying on working, or I'll
doing bits, or
think of an idea, or I'll jot something down, or I'll be tinkering. I like to tinker with stuff, but every now and then I will give in and I'll finally relax. And my main thing I like to do is I like to game. I have actually started streaming on TikTok lately, and again, it doesn't feel like work though. I am very much gaming. I've been playing a lot of old nostalgic PlayStation 1 games, and I've just been streaming them, and people jump in the chat and we have a little chat. But
we'll link his TikTok below if you want to see.
I will link my TikTok below, so please come and watch me stream.
I appear every now and again, but I'll be in my pyjamas with a messy bun. Yeah.
yeah, I like to game. What do you do in your downtime?
Well, jumping on to the
Schitt's
next
Creek.
question, Netflix suggestions. My downtime, I just like to be a vegetable. So the hair will be a pineapple, no makeup on, the ugliest clothes and comfiest clothes you've ever seen, and I will just lay on the sofa and just watch something on TV. My comfort
Usually
show.
with a bag of crisps next to you.
Do we need to shame my eating
I'm not
habits?
shaming you. I'm not shaming it. I'm just saying that's what you
My
do.
downfall is
you
crisps,
have
I
5
know.
or 6, 7 bags of crisps next to you.
Why did that jump up so drastically?
It didn't. I'm just look. I always like to tell the truth about your 11 packets of crisps and your 4 bags of chocolate.
All right, let's calm
your
down.
hot
It's not that bad.
Your hot
but
chocolate, yeah.
yeah, downtime for me is just my snacks and watching my comfort show. My comfort show is Schitt's Creek. I'm watching it for the 3rd time, and if you didn't know, that's how we chose my name together, Alexis, because there is a character in the show called Alexis, and an old show that I used to watch called Ugly Betty, but it was mainly from Schitt's Creek, and that's a really good show. It's funny and lighthearted. It takes about 3 episodes to get into it, so give it a go.
So what would we recommend? We've just finished watching The Tower.
Season
That's
3.
on, what's that on though?
BBC or ITV.
It's on ITV.
It's an English one.
You can get BBC. Yeah, the apps are available, but you can get There'll be ways and means to watch it. That was really good. And what else are we watching at the moment? Alex Cross from Amazon Prime. I really want to start watching that. He's a detective, and it's based. Well, it's not directly based on the James Patterson books, but the character Alex Cross is a detective.
Are you all right today?
Alex Cross is a detective that is in the books that James Patterson, the writer, writes about. So it's his character, but it's its own
I know
story.
someone called James Patterson. I don't think it's that James Patterson, though.
No.
I think it'll be a different James Patterson.
Probably.
Anyway.
I think you would know, and he's not called James Patterson, he's called Edward Patterson.
No, I don't know the vampire.
Well, I'm not. Anyway.
You're thinking of Twilight. Anyway, thank you, Kerry, for your email.
Yeah,
we
sorry,
loved it.
thank you, Kerry Hans.
Min and Shen, if we've said the names wrong, I'm so sorry. But thank you, and we
Meave.
hope you have a
Is it
lovely
Meave?
Christmas.
Is that how you spell Meave?
Meave. Is it O'Reilly? That's Irish, isn't it? So I think you're right. I think it might be Meave.
Kerry Hans.
Maeve?
Maeve. Maybe. Anyway, I'm sure she'll email back and tell us.
I'm sorry if it's wrong, though, but enjoy Christmas
Yes,
and the 90s decor.
have a good one.
So Jade, moving on to the next one. We'll do 2 this podcast. It's quite a long one. If you enjoy the longer podcast, please let us know below. We never know if we should do like a little 10-minute bite size or a girthy one. Not
that's
a good word.
Not a way I'd describe the length of... Well, no, because girth isn't length. Length
width.
is length. Girth is width.
A lengthy one. Yeah, sorry, I meant lengthy one.
So, I'm going to read this one. So, hi, I just wanted to say I love watching your content. You and Blair White are some of my favourite transgender YouTubers.
Thank you.
My name's Jade, I'm 18 and I'm a transgender guy. Anyways, I was wondering if you could talk a little about your families and how they felt about everything, you transition, coming out, etc. Also, I live in the US and the political climate surrounding transgender people is pretty bad, and I'm someone who has had a hard time accepting myself, so it really doesn't help. Do you have any advice on how to deal with the negativity you hear and not let it affect you? So, coming out to friends and family, how do they feel about it, and what advice do you have for Jade to deal with negativity
in America?
Not let it
I'm going to dive into the America bit first, because this is something I've wanted to address for a while, but I've never known how or what to say. So as you might notice, I don't touch on American politics too often. And I know what's going on in America. I do see bits and bobs, but I don't live there and I'm not experiencing it. So I don't want to come across like I know everything, and because I really don't. And I don't want to say things wrong, and because I'm not living there, and well, I know everything for you. You don't know everything I do. But in America, I know what's going on. The climate's not great for transgender people. I know there's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of uproar. There's a lot of things in general to do with women's health and everything, but I never know how to approach those subjects because...
It's hard because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't sometimes.
Yeah, it's definitely that. And of course I have my opinions, and especially when it comes into politics as well, leaning into that, I don't try and go too political unless it's like verging on my rights as a human being, which is when I talk about it.
If you feel strongly about something, you have made your voice heard about it, but on the whole, we don't generally dive too much into politics, just because if you want that kind of content, it's out there. And
it is out there.
We're not politically driven, are we? On the whole, it's there. If we feel strongly enough about it, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's just, our channel channel won't morph into a political channel.
I like to keep it lighthearted and fun, and I think what's going on there. What I will say is this about the politics in America: as a trans woman, would I be happy living there or concerned? I would say if I was living there right now, I would be a little bit concerned just about the way things are going.
Interesting, you should say that, because I actually served a gay couple the other day.
Yeah.
I work at Tesco. Gay couple, 2 men, and one of them was American.
Okay.
Strong American accent. And I was like, we were talking about Merry Christmas stuff. And I said, oh, are you over here for Christmas? And he said, no. He said, we've moved back to the UK. And I was like, why have you moved back? And he was like, haven't you heard about what's happened in America? He said, we packed our bags and left as soon as Trump got in. And I was like, oh my God, like,
That's
that
strong.
was mental.
People feel strong though about these things, and I think I don't know. I don't want to dig too deep into it. I mean, I can if people want me to look into the political climate in America more. If that's something you guys want me to do, it's a hard one for me because we're not from there. We're not experiencing it every day. We're not living around it, and I don't know all the details about everything. And there's a lot of propaganda online from both sides. I will say that from both parties. But coming out to family and friends, it's hard. I would say find someone you trust the most, who you think will react the best. That's what I did first, and then work your way down to the people who you think will take it the worst. It's not an easy thing coming out, and I wish you all the luck in the world, but it does get easier day by day. I couldn't accept this about myself for 12 years. I knew when I was 15 and I couldn't accept it because I felt dirty, ashamed, gross and wrong, and like I was doing something illegal, which is wild now because I talk about it so openly online. But back when I was 15, this was really hard to accept, and it was a different climate back then for trans people, I think, especially. So just come out to the person you trust the most and work your way down. But yeah,
and don't do what Alexis did, which was forget to tell her brother.
Yeah, I have spoke quite briefly before. I forgot to tell my brother. He turned up. I was quite a bit into transition because we don't see each other that often, and he was just like, oh, and what's your name then? And he was great about it. So 10 out of 10 to him for it, really.
He was good. He was good.
One final thing on your question. Thank you again for asking and sending in the email. But one final thing I would say is to do with my family. I really want to start a series and getting my mum on here. I think that would be really cool. And a lot of people have asked when I had her in a little video on my TikTok.
She was super popular, wasn't she?
Yeah, everyone loves Tracy. And I know she's going to be watching this. Hopefully she sees it to the end. She might have clicked off by now. She's probably bored.
Well, I'll check the analytics.
Yeah, see, she's still there. But I am going to try and get my mum in more videos, and I can ask her things like, how was my transition for you? What was the easy bit? What was the hard bit?
I think it would be interesting to hear it from her point of view. Definitely.
I think so, because she's real. My mum is very real. Yeah. She'll not sugarcoat it and frill it out. She'll say it as it is. So if you want to see my mum in some videos, please let me know below. If you have any questions for us, or any video ideas, or any agony aunt sort of stuff, please email us at
the.blake.debate.com. No, it's not. Why did I put dots in it?
I don't know.
Why did I put dots in the email address? Why is it so hard to say it?
If you have any questions or would like to ask us anything, this is like the 5th time I've said this, please email us at
the.blake.debate@gmail.com.
And that is it for episode 25 of The Blake Debate. Thank you so much for watching or listening our podcast.
I've not set up for like 10 minutes.
Do you know what?
Should I have just taken today off?
Do you know what, babe? Right, honestly, if you watch our podcast back,
you know what? Next week, right?
You say more than me on this.
Big A can stand in for me. Yeah? Do you want to do that? Yeah?
Right, seriously, if you could do like an analytical thing of our podcast, of all of them, and add the amount of seconds who's talking, I think you'll find that your number's higher than mine.
I think it's open for debate.
Well, that's why it's called The Blake Debate. the.blake.debate@gmail.com. Anyway.
Thank you guys for tuning in again. If you do enjoy this kind of content, please like, subscribe, and tick that notification bell for notifications that may or may not appear on your screen.
Go on, you've got this. It's all you, babes.
You can listen to us on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and if you just search for the Blake Debate, on Google, you can find us on there. Also,
if you're still here through all of that,
if you're still here, which I hope you are,
Wait, can I ask one thing? Sorry, I know I'm cutting you off, and everyone hates it when I do that. You cut me off too. Can people comment if you're still here? Just say, I stayed until you said, are you still here? Because I always wonder, like, do
Who
people
does?
actually watch us to the end, or do they just get on board now?
Yeah,
Anyway,
there is quite a lot of
Anyway,
people.
go on, sorry.
It's all right. So I did mention earlier in the podcast that I stream live on TikTok usually every other night now, but I also have launched my own YouTube, and I put 2 videos out. It's gaming and tech themed. And I'm already nearly at 1,000 subscribers, which is
can't believe it.
absolutely mental after 2 videos.
thank you if you guys have hopped over and
Thank
supported.
Thank
but
you so much.
I'm very proud of you. It's really cool. We seem to be taking on more and more and more.
I know we're supposed to be
going back,
but we're just
not.
doing more.
But
yeah.
while we can handle it, I think we'll keep going. We're all right.
While one of us is still young.
I'm like way younger than you, so I don't know what that means. Anyway, we'll link Liam's channel below if you want to have a little look. But thank you so much for watching episode 25.
25?
I know, of the Blake debate, and we will catch you guys
In
next
the next
week.
one.
Bye.
Bye. Twist again, like we did last summer.
You know this is the most we talk.
I know, and then we don't even talk to the rest of the week.
Bye.
You just sit and eat your crisps.